Good day everyone, GarageKing here, and on today's episode, this one's going to be a little bit special, a little bit different. We're not going to be talking about motors or cars, anything like that. So for a one-off, we're going to talk about the Samsung HW-Q950T was the one for me. So kind of rhymes. Anyway, that was the one, it's Samsung's flagship bar. And I was kind of concerned a little bit because of last year's model, the HW-Q90R. That's the one that's the Samsung model that's associated with the Harman Kardon, for those of you that have been doing your research. And I really thought about the two and what's the difference. But at the end of the day, I picked the Q950T, and I think it was a really good choice. So if you buy the unit, you actually get a square box. A lot of these come in what looks like a hockey stick shaped box because of the way the sub is packed. But here it's actually square, I guess because of the rear surrounds. Let's take a closer look at the bar. So we got 15 speakers total, so that's 246 watts, 9 channels. And then in the subwoofer, we have 160 watts, and in the rears, we have 4 times 35 watts. Now, 4 speakers total are upward firing. Now, here in the new bar, we have these extra 2 channels to give us the 9.1.4 opposed to last year's 7.1.4. So I'll throw up a picture of the Q90R from last year, and you can see it only has 1 speaker on the side, whereas the new 950T has 2 speakers on the side. So that's the big difference. So you're getting an extra 2 speakers with the Q950T. But is it worth it? I guess we'll see. One thing I can say is it's actually packed really well, so it can endure some maybe bouncing around during shipping. Here's the bar coming out of the top of the box. You can see there is styrofoam on both sides. We have the sub in the middle. I'll just pull it out here. If we look in the box, there's one more here, and what this is both surround sound speakers are in the box. I got fooled here. I thought there was something on the sides, but there was actually nothing on the sides. So let's just open up the surround sound box and see how it looks inside and how they are packed. So the packaging is really good. Both surround sound speakers are individually wrapped, which is really nice. That means they have no scratches or anything like that. No bumps and bruises, no chips, nothing like that. Mine came in perfect condition, so I was really happy with that. Now let's go to the sub. You have to be a little bit careful when you're opening the sub just because it is kind of heavy. So you can see here, I wanted to do it for the camera, but at the same time, I wanted to be careful not to drop it because it does weigh a little bit. So you just got to be careful with the sub. Now, don't forget, inside here, there's a little box. And once you open the box, there'll be a bunch of little treasures for you to find. So there'll be a manual, there's the remote control, there's some cables, and it even comes with an HDMI cord. So that's pretty awesome. Really happy about that. I'll show you, here is the, I guess, mounts for the wall if you want to mount the soundbar to the wall. We have just some hardware, stuff like that. I want to show you the remote. It's actually really simple, really easy to use. So I was really happy with the remote. It wasn't an over complex remote. And then they even gave you some rubber feet. So that's good. That's how the box comes, and that's basically what it looks like. Here's this template if you decide to mount the soundbar to the wall. So that was a nice touch that they did. Now, here we go. We can check out the speakers. The rear speakers are actually not that big, so you can put them anywhere. I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger, but when I took them out of the box, they actually weren't that big. The sub is a really nice size because it's kind of thin, which is good, and then it's long. So you can put it anywhere, and it fits into a lot of spaces. I actually put it right behind my TV, and it sounds great, and it fits there. There's just the AC plug, and then there should be a reset button. Maybe I'll show you if I can zoom back in here. There you go. There's the reset button if they don't work. Now, I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this. I'll put it up there, Kvadrat. I guess that's the fabric. It looks a lot like 70s stuff, but it's pretty high end. Don't forget the rear speakers are left and right. You can't interchange the rear surround sound speakers, so they are not interchangeable. So just so you know, make sure the right one goes on the right and the left goes on the left. Now here's the soundbar. Let's zoom in here, take a little bit closer of a look here. You can see we're at 48.5 inches. Our height is about, well, just under 3 inches, and our depth is about 5.5 inches. So definitely a good looking sound bar. I like the way it looks personally. Here in the back, you can see that's where the cables are going to come through on the back. So it's sort of got that cutout there. I'll flip up the sound bar in a minute, but before I do that, here's the side. I was a little bit worried how the side would look here, but it looks good, and I'm quite happy with it. Now, here's this fabric again, and you know what? I was really torn between last year's model and this, and if I'm gonna like it or not. And you know what? It's grown on me. It's kind of a cool looking fabric, and I like it. Here's a bottom view of the bar. You can see there's where the AC outlet's gonna go. If I pan over here, you can see there's just a reset if you have to for the speakers, the network, and a USB for service port. And when we pan over here, you'll see there's the eARC connection to go to your TV, and we have HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and your digital optical in. The only thing is it's a little bit tight under there, but they do work. Now here's where it's gonna go. Please don't laugh at me. I know it's an older TV, but I really like this TV and it works good in the corner. I'm gonna put the soundbar on the top, or I'm gonna try as best I can. Now, as you can see, there's not much room there. So I have this foam, and I'm just gonna put this foam just like so, and it should hold no problem because the rubber pads on the bottom of the soundbar will grip the front part of the TV, so it shouldn't be going anywhere. And here you can see how it looks mounted on the top of the TV. I think it actually looks really good. There's that little bit of foam just supporting it in the back, that's all. With the rubber pads, it's really, really firm. It actually doesn't look like it's gonna move anywhere. Here's the front. Once again, I'll let you decide how well you think it looks. Styling with this fabric is really a personal thing. To me, it's reminiscent of maybe some of the older hi-fi audio speakers. That's to me what it reminds me about. But I think it looks really good, but it's a personal choice, definitely a personal choice. But I see it getting a lot more popular on a lot of other soundbars, so it's definitely catching on. Now, if we turn it on, we can see here's our buttons on the top. We do not have a display on the front. The only thing that is on the front is a little red dot, and you can turn that on or off with the mic. There you can see I turned it off, and there you can see I turned it back on. So that's the only thing that you will see on the front of this soundbar. Now here's how it looks with the TV. You can see the mic is off, so that's the red dot on the soundbar there. We're gonna zoom in a little bit closer here, and you can see I can just scroll through everything on the soundbar. So it's pretty easy to scroll through everything, which is kind of nice. But a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, do you have to go to the soundbar to do all your adjustments? And yes, that's a very valid thing. It's easy to use, but at the same time, you don't want to go to the soundbar to do all your adjustments. You can see I have it hooked up just with my my cable box and my Apple TV. So I don't want to come up to the soundbar every time just to make adjustments. So the good thing is it does have a decent app. I guess I wish you could control more with the app. It actually even goes to all the way to 100, but I found it's very loud even on 40. Here's the app here, so you can control these things with the app. You can control your inputs, your sound mode, your volume. So you do have some control. I know some people are saying they wish they had more control. Here's another screenshot of the app. But I mean, this is what it is, and at least you don't have to get up. And you know, there's multiple thoughts about it. The nice thing is you don't have these words looking at you when you're watching a movie. It's just dark the way it should be. So mixed thoughts on that. Now for overall sound quality, I'm really, really impressed with this. I never thought a sound bar would sound that good. I got an Anthem in the basement, and it's I'm used to that, and this thing actually just blows me away. The other thing is some people had problems pairing their speakers, and they, you know, crackly speakers, and they're dropping out. And you know what? I didn't. All right, so I'm going to show you how fast they can pair. Here's the remote. So I'm going to turn it on. And I've just turned it on, and you should see them pair in a second. There you go, they're paired. So that fast. Now I'll turn it off. And they're off. So I haven't had any issues with the speakers pairing. So you know what, how did it sound? It actually blew me away. It sounded really, really good. And to be honest, I didn't know a soundbar could actually sound that good. I'm so used to having components, I just didn't know a soundbar could sound that good. So I was totally, totally blown away. Now, I know some people might want me to show, you know, how it actually sounds and stuff like that. And, you know, YouTube compresses the sound, and it doesn't do it any justice. Honestly, you just have to go hear it. And if you're that serious about buying it, you should probably hear it in the store. I know a couple people had said on different forums that the subwoofer just isn't enough, and maybe they wanted another sub. I don't know if maybe they were listening to it in a gym, or they just had a huge place maybe, or something like that. I don't know. My living room is about 18 feet by 20 feet, and it is more than enough. Actually, most of the times, you know, it helps to just turn it down a little bit. So maybe they don't even have it positioned in a corner, because a sub is omnidirectional. It can go anywhere. So it doesn't have to be facing you. So maybe they just didn't put it in a corner and didn't set it up right. I don't know. The other thing is with the surrounds I showed earlier, they turn on and off, no crackling. I didn't have any problems with them pairing, anything like that. And the soundstage is just excellent. So overall, big thumbs up. Nice quick video. Just wanted to review this. So that's it for this video. Hopefully I will see you on the next one, and you'll join me for my next video. If you have any questions or comments, anything like that, please leave them below. I answer everything. Other than that, everyone have a great day, and I will see you soon. Thanks, everyone.